Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is kind of a very exciting day for me because I'm going to be using the new Jaclyn Hill Morphe brushes palette on camera. I used it in an Instagram video for the 4th of July, and I've also been using it to myself on days where I'm not filming, and I've really gotten a good opinion of where this palette's strengths and weaknesses are. So I'm just going to do a normal tutorial. I've been seeing a lot of people do very warm looks with it, and also using the really bright and gorgeous colors down here, like the blues and the purples and everything like that. But I haven't really seen any more Jaclyn Hill type looks where she is using a lot of browns. So I'm going to try to do something like that, maybe a little bit more creative. I did what Raw Beauty Christie did here on YouTube, where she kind of taped down all the color names so that I can reference them when I'm doing these tutorials, because I have a feeling I'm going to be using this a lot, not just for complete Jaclyn Hill based looks, but also for different tutorials down the line, for something that isn't brand specific or me trying out something new. It's currently sold out. I was one of the lucky few that was able to get a palette the day that it was first launched. Hopefully I could keep up the buzz going with this palette and people will feel like they want to purchase it in the future when it does get restocked. So yeah, without further ado, let's get set up with this tutorial and this brown cut crease smoky eye, if you will. I pretty much just did all of my face makeup and my eyebrows and my lipstick as well. So I just wanted the focus to all be on the eyes and a real versatile use of the palette. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the shade Central Park, which is right here. It's the third from the bottom right. And I'm going to be taking this little precise brush and I'm going to be carving out the crease. This is a similar technique that I did for my Kiss Me I'm literally cutting a line right above my crease and then winging it out softly. And this doesn't have to be 100% perfect because it will be blended several times, as you guys know I like to do. Alright, so just gonna darken that up with the same brush. Alright, and you should have something like that. Alright, so to blend that out, I'm going to be taking this really small brush that's a part of my dual-ended brush that I got with the crown, and I'm going to take Chip, and that's right above this shade, which is the second from the right and one up. The first shade was a little bit more cool toned and this one is a little bit more warm, making the two tones blend together. Not taking this up too high, I'm just getting a base going and creating a little bit of dimension and smoke. Right, so you should have this sloppy mess so far, and we're only going to make it sloppier right now. Next, I'm going to take this really tiny e.l.f. brush. It says it's a crease brush, professional eye crease brush. And I like to use this mostly on the lower lash line, just like the other brush that I used, but we're gonna use this to smoke out this top lash line. Really simple. Right next to Chip, we're gonna take Mocha, and going almost right on top of Chip, but also right above it as well, to really smoke this out, but also to make sure that all the colors are together and blended properly. So now to just completely wrap all these colors together, I'm going to be taking Pooter, which is the second row, third one in from the left, and I'm going to be taking my Morphe M411 brush and just working that in right on top of all the other colors. And this color I'm going to take my time with. Alright, so kind of similar to what I did with my St. Patrick's Day tutorial. I'm going to reapply basically all of the colors in the same order that I did them first. So yeah, that's the cut crease so far, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit with one of the shimmer shades that she has. I'm going to use the shade Beam, which is the second from the first row on the left side. And I'm going to place this on the brow bone. And just blending it out slightly, just to make sure that it blends in with the rest of my shadows. So now, for this I'm going to be using a gradient of shimmer shadows that I think are going to look really good with this look. I'm going to swatch 24/7, which is this nice chocolate shimmery brown that has all these flecks of glitter in it, and I'm going to swatch the one right next to it called Meeks, which is a nice bronze gold, more just like of a true shimmer. Then I'm going to swatch SBN, aka Smoky but Natural. It's a little bit more pink than I thought it was going to be. And Obsessed, which is right next to it. Just for a little bit of a reference, I am going to do Queen. So now I have to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm going to leave out SBN, that is this kind of pinky shimmer right here, and instead I'm going to be using 24/7, Meeks, and Queen. And then I think I'll do a little bit of Obsessed, this outer one, in the inner corners, or if I don't feel like doing that, I'll probably do Enlight, which is this brighter, more gold toned and highlight shade that's at the top row. So I'm going to start with the outer corner, this end right here, with the darkest shadow and with the biggest brush, and that will be the Morphe M224. And then I'm going to take 24/7, pack it on to the brush, and then spray it with a little bit of setting spray. And then we're gonna see how this goes. I'm experiencing a lot of fallout with this shadow. This is the first time I'm using it, and unfortunately so far it is crumbling a lot, but the pigment is there and it looks really beautiful with this eye makeup look. Out a little bit down here and just softly connect it to the cut crease. I think the reason why it's so crumbly may be due to the fact that it has actual flecks of glitter in it, because all of her other shimmer shadows, and I have used most of them, are not crumbly at all, and this is the only one that I could tell has like distinct flecks of glitter in it, and I'm assuming that that's probably why I'm having that issue, unfortunately. It's just something to be aware of when you're doing your face makeup first. What's also good about it is that I am blending it a little bit, and the shimmer and the reflect is still holding up quite nicely. A lot of the times if we get more poor quality shimmer shadows or glitter shadows, when we start to blend it into our other eyeshadows, it loses its reflect because it's all falling off onto the face and it's catching onto our brush and kind of flying away. So it is still holding up its pigment and its shimmer, even though it is a glitter shadow and it has a little bit of fallout. Alright, now on to the next color, and that is going to be Meeks. Jaclyn Hill has a video dedicated to her palette and why she chose the color names that she did, so if you want to check that out, I'll link that down below. But I'm sure a lot of people have already watched that. But yeah, I just did the same thing that I did with the color 24/7, and I applied the shadow onto my brush and then sprayed it with a little bit of setting spray. So we're gonna place this in the middle. Oh wow. Just blending that in with 24/7 a little bit more. Not that I really need to because it blended perfectly, even with it being wet. Alright, taking the last color, which is Queen, on the other side of my dual-ended crown brush, and then spraying that as well with my setting spray. That's beautiful too. Wow. So Queen is a little bit more of a true yellow gold, and Meeks is more of a nice bronzy gold. But they complement each other very well. I'm just going to reinforce the crease one more time with all of the colors that I used previously. Top is looking really good, so I'm going to move on to the bottom of my eyes, and I'm going to go in with some of the same colors, but I'm going to blend everything out with a couple more lighter colors. So I'm going back in with Central Park with my precise brush and just blending that under the lash line on the outer edge, kind of dragging it up to fake eyeliner in a way, but have it still blend out with the other colors on the lid. And then I'm taking, I think I'm just going to take Mocha on my small little pencil brush, and I'm just skipping Chip for now. Then I'm going to take Pooter on the same brush I used with the same color on the top part of my eye. And then I'm going to take my M513 brush, and then I'm going to take the shade Pukey, and that is right in the middle of the second row. And I'm going to use that color to blend everything together and give this a more greenish brown tone. And then I'm going to take my flat Sony Castric brush and take the shade Enlight, which is the first shade in the palette starting from the left side, and just pop that in the inner corner. That made such a big difference. Alright, I think the eyeshadow is basically complete. I'm going to go off camera and apply some lashes, and then I will be back with my final thoughts. Okay, so my lashes are on, but I also decided that it would be cool to use one of the shimmer shades to create a highlight. So for that, I think what I'm gonna do is use Beam. and that is what I put on my brow bone. And I'm just going to take one of my highlighting brushes. This is the Morphe M510, and we're just going to do the cheekbones for this. Wow, that's beautiful. Alright, so that gets an A+ from me. I'm definitely going to be using that as a highlight in the future, and maybe the other color as well. So yeah, now for real on my final thoughts on the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So I've been using the mattes a lot, and mostly the warm tones, and I have really had no issues with them creasing or any issues with their blending. I had them on for, I want to say, close to 12 hours one day, and they didn't move, and it was raining, and I had water dripping down my face and smog in the air, and it did not break up my eye makeup at all. It worked really well under stressful conditions, definitely. The shimmer shadows, Jaclyn specifically said that she designed them in the way that they need to be sprayed with setting spray, and that they're not going to be the best with a dry brush. You can use them with your finger, but it's not going to give you the best color payoff. In a way, I appreciate her for letting us know that, and on the other hand, it is a little bit annoying that she specifically designed them in a certain way, because I feel as though it really takes away from us experiencing the product to its fullest effect. On the other hand, it is very convenient that she taught us how to use the product, so that we're not wasting our time trying to figure out what it's best used with. Not that we don't all use shimmer shadows with the setting spray already anyway. I think that that probably annoyed a couple of people, and myself included at first, but looking back on it, I understand, and I am very appreciative of her telling us how they need to be applied so that we're not confused about it. A lot of other brands aren't that kind and aren't that really focused on the learning curve and making sure that everybody can use their product equally on any type of skill level. As for the shade that I used on my outer corner, which is called 24/7, I still have a lot of glitter on my face. I don't know if you guys could see, I had to blend it away with my beauty sponge, and it was kind of frustrating because that was my first time using it, and of course the minute I used it on camera, it created a bit of a mess. And I will also say that the shade Twerk right here is kind of a silly, ridiculous name, and I don't like it. But aside from that, it also is kind of poorly done. Raw Beauty Christie said the same thing, and I tried to go in with the color in an open mind for my July 4th Instagram tutorial. But yeah, it just didn't really work out that well for me. It didn't blend 100%. It did a little bit more oomph and more product to make it completely sit on the lid properly. And what I found is that it stained my brush, and it also stained my eyelid. At the end of the day, I took it off, and I had a little bit of a pink cast on my eye, and it was only in the area where I applied that shadow, so I immediately said to myself, like, that's a color that stains, which is kind of interesting because usually I find that with more red tone shadows. And I think Jaclyn worked really hard on making sure that the red tones were in their truest pigment and didn't stain, but on the same end of it, she probably didn't think that Twerk was going to do that, and thus she didn't really look into it that much, and thus we have a shadow that stains my lid. That's just me. I don't know if that's going to happen to anybody else. Nobody's mentioned it, but I did notice that, and I just wanted to make people aware of that. As for all the other colors, this is a very wearable palette. I'm going to be able to do a bunch of looks with this, and a lot of creative looks as well. And yeah, it's a good mix of both those mattes and the shimmers, which give a lot of diversity to the palette. I really ripped into the Naked Heat palette from Urban Decay on one of my blog posts because I was like, this is another warm palette, like we've seen this before. And Jaclyn really amped it up by not just sticking with her warm tone palette rut, but also giving us a lot of variety. We have cool tones, we have browns, we have greens, we have reds, and we have really nice transition shades like Creamsicle and Pukey, and really subtle shades like Enlight and Beam for even people that want to just do like one color on the lid and that's it. Yep, other than that, not really many problems. I will put this to the test again and check out more of the shimmer shades and put them in action and try to create more than just warm tone looks and to use more than just Twerk and Pool Party and Jada in every single look like a lot of people have been doing. So yeah, let me know what types of looks you want to see with this palette, whether it's just a specific look using the palette or you want to see a different tutorial that incorporates some of the colors. And yeah, I hope you guys like this mini review and demo of the product, and I hope you like this look. And that's all for today, so thank you for watching my video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, have a great day guys. Bye, thank you.